Right, skipping a little bit because usual thing happens, you get chatting and nothing gets done, or in the case of me, nothing gets done most of the time. But I've set up. The cars are rather full there. I'm going to tidy that up in a minute, but greater priorities. Got the tent set up. All important rubbish bag, and just over here we've got the fire going with a brew on the go and a nice steak cooking there. 30-day matured ribeye, so anybody who knows their steaks know that that is pretty good. It's Scotch beef as well. Fire was a bit of a pain to light because we've had a bit of rain today, so cotton ball and Vaseline was used. That took, but my little trick, which worked first time, got it up to a nice roaring blaze, and happy, as you can see there, everything happily cooking. So I'm going to break away now and sort the veggies out. So I normally just do my steaks maybe 5 minutes aside, if that. I like them medium rare, so just flip it over and give it the old seasoning. Of course, come with the pepper grinder, so I can have some nice black pepper, freshly ground, rather than that school pepper, as I call it, the white pepper. There we go. 30-day matured ribeye steak with petit pois and carrots. Happy days. Join me here this morning at the Bushcraft Show 2018. Just woken up and it's a beautiful day, so I hope everybody's well. If you've saw there wasn't much filming done yesterday, the reason why is there's always, there's lots of people to talk to and lots of things to set up. A few usual dramas which I'll go into a little bit more later, but right now I'm going to get up, get myself a coffee and partake in the showers that are just situated down the path. So I'll catch you in a bit. Mission accomplished, and as I say, the showers down there are actually really good. They are mains sort of stored water with a pump on there and obviously a heater, so I think they were a bit concerned that there was a lack of flow, but in true spirit of places like this, no one was moaning or anything. Personally, I thought there was actually better than the one at home, so I'll spare you the scenes from that. And we're back at camp now. I'm going to sort ourselves out some breakfast. I'll just show you quickly though what the sort of layout was for the sleeping last night. Okay, so as you saw last night, I was just I'd finished pitching up the Vango. I'm using the Vango Banshee 300 again. It's a superb tent. I've had it now for it's just coming up to 2 years. It's never let me down. It's typical of a what they say is a three-man tent. It's actually quite a large two. We have tried sleeping 2 adults and a small child in it, and it is a little bit snug to say the least. But the reason I went for the 300 instead of the 200 was because the 200 actually worked out more expensive, absurdly, in the bank holiday sales a couple of years back. So I bought the 300, and as I say there, that's the spec on it. Obviously, I think that most people now know what one of these things is. It's got what they call the Power Light alloy poles as opposed to fiberglass ones, so they should be sort of lighter and stronger. Good 5,000 millimetre what they call the hydrostatic head. So really, even it's suitable for the British summer. What I'm saying. A couple of dramas last night. As you see there, I've just tethered out the guys, and I'm quite close to the sort of the path. A lot of people have sort of camped along this area, and in the dark, it was just a moment of lack of concentration. I managed to trip over the guy again, and kick out the peg. And what I had to sort of spent time, probably about 10-15 minutes trying to find this thing with the head torch followed by the mag light, and I couldn't. And the truth was, okay, it sort of would have probably spun over there somewhere, but I thought if it's gone underneath the tent and it damages the tent in the night, obviously that's not good. I could stand on it, could go in one of the car tyres if I don't see where it's actually gone, or forget all that, you know, what if there's lots of families here, maybe one of the children could have stepped on it or fallen onto it. Luckily I actually found it, and it had sort of gone all the way over there, so I think it sort of catapulted itself off. So that's just what I went standing there, eh? Anyway, more to do about the sleeping system. I'm just going to go back round here without falling over everything, and I'll just take you inside. You've got the inner and the outer fly on this, so it's not a concern at the moment with condensation, but you know, certainly in autumn winter camps, you know, it would be. So this is why I'm not a big fan of single skinned tents, though having said it, my Dutch one is single skin. So let's pop you in here and give you a sort of a view of what we got. Same old culprits again. Loving this Highlander Challenger 400 sleeping bag. It is a brilliant bag. It's 4 seasons, but to be fair, last night it was going down to about 12 degrees, 13 degrees. It was a nice warm night. There was a bit of mist, and I didn't really feel overheated in it. I think it's a nice thing about some of these sleeping bags. You probably can't see on there. Oh, you might be able to. There you go. Upper limit 8, comfort -2, lower -8, extreme -25. So in terms of the actual spec of these, I'd rather be too warm than too cold. I don't want to wake up shivering in the night, so I've just left it open to air there. A little bit of housekeeping. Pillow, having had that inflatable pillow, I forgot it, so it's a dry bag. Does the job, and I've just tucked that inside, and that is all upon one of these, which is the 3/4 length issue self-inflating mattress, which is the one that I bought that was faulty, with the dodgy valve, which, as you can see there, is still well, inflated. So happy days. Got a few little incidentals along the side there. You've got these little storage pockets to put stuff in, which is handy because you don't want stuff getting lost. But in truth, the ground sheet is effectively sewn in, so if something falls out in the tent, like your head torch, then it's not going to sort of slip out and go outside and get lost. I'll just show you where I am on the map on the little guide. So just in this little show guide, where are we? Well, there you have your main entrance at the top, and your stall area just along there, and basically you go round the lake. You've got the camping area down here, and it's sort of down here, just in these little glades. Now you can actually get into it via a side road, which is good. I'm not quite sure where I am on now. I think I'm around about there, but save having to lump all the kit, so it's all good. And you know, if anybody fancies going to one of these things, it is worthwhile. There's the little website address there. It's worth having a look. It's got showers, toilets, all that sort of thing. So as I say, you know, I'm all for authenticity, and certainly, yes, I've bought wash kit, wet wipes and all the rest of it, but you know, if the showers are there, use them. Happy days. Yeah, and entertainment. Nice thing with this is if you with your weekend camping ticket, you get the entrance into the evening things, which are all sorts of them. The actual day visitors sort of have to go by, I think it's around about 6ish, something like that. But you have entertainment in the evenings as well, and it's Friday, Saturday and Sunday night entertainment. That's the ones I saw yesterday, a group called R.U.Reggae, and I sort of got down for about the last 45 minutes, an hour of their music, and really good. And I think, you know, everybody was just feeling the spirit of the evening. They got a beer tent on the go there as well, so I think the beer was about £4, which, I don't know, £4, I suppose, but it's realistically it's probably only about £1 more than you pay in the town centre sometimes. So and it's all nice stuff. So I'll probably go off and have a look at something tonight. Hey, rock and roll, how about that, eh? That is right up my street. So I think there might be a little venture down there, maybe not for the 2 hours, but you know, who knows. I fixed myself a little brew and just using a Coleman stove for just for ease really, rather than having to sort of light a fire up, just to do a quick coffee. So just using the self-sealing canisters. Admittedly, I've got a couple of these with me because they need using up, but it's not that they go out of date. It's just I don't like taking a load of stuff there that's sort of half full, especially if you're going on a trip and you realise you're running out. As well as the gas, I've obviously got the real fire, which I used last night, and the alternative I have is a hex stove. I've got one of those with me as well. So I've got 3 ways of cooking, not including going down to get myself a burger or something. And I will be sampling those because they are really nice. Well, they were last year. I think that'll just about do it. This is knock that off. Fantastic. Let's say one of my EDC items is always a lighter. It can be a Bic if you want to buy one of those. It can be a cheap and cheerful one. It doesn't really make any difference. Okay, so that was a nice coffee. That's given me the buzz I needed to get moving and get down into the main area. As I say, it takes probably around about 10 minutes to walk over there. Now I know where I'm going. So they've got the usual traders there. Lofty's there as well, Mr. Wiseman. So that'll be a nice entertaining talk as always. So I'm going to make a little trek down there. Before I packed up and washed everything away, just gave the mug a quick swill out. It's a metal mug, so it's not really going to hold any sort of real dirt from the coffee. I just made myself a quick flask up of some coffee for later, just in case I come back and I'll fancy a quick brew. Rather than get the stove out again, if there's hot water there, I might as well use it to make one. And to be fair, I really rate these flasks because I've had it for around about 2 years, 3 years now, and it's taken some knocks, but it keeps everything nice and hot for about 12 hours. So yeah, that's been filled up with some coffee for later on. I've got some biscuits on the go with no expense spared, quality rich tea biscuits. So I'll catch you in a bit, guys. You see, this is the what I think is supposed to be the main camping field where I was going to go. I'm almost sure I paid extra to come onto this, and turned out I ended up at the top, but to be fair, where I am, I'm happier. This is a bit of a sort of through route, literally for people to get to the various amenity blocks. You've got the toilets down here and a little sort of wash station type thing, and you carry on down the track over there, and that takes you down to the showers and then on to the main event. They're just walking along the lake here. I think the weather's going to hold out. It's a little bit overcast, but there's a nice breeze, so it's certainly not too sweltering hot. And here we are. This is the bit that I didn't see for previous years. Let's have a check around.
bearing on a distant object that I won't lose sight of, plug that bearing into my compass by putting the needle in the doghouse. I hope everybody understands that, and we're not too far advanced here. And then I can close the compass and walk to that object without having to do this, to try to keep the needle in the doghouse while I'm walking. I just shut the thing and go. But if I lose sight of that object because I go down a ravine, then I could go left or right of it and miss it. So it's important that I'm not going to lose sight of it.
So I'm back here at my camp, and this is Saturday, 4 o'clock, so I've just popped back for a bit of a snack, maybe get a bit of tea on, certainly a drink. I mean, it's getting quite thirsty walking around, 6 hours in the sun. Remember to take my water with me, and I took that coffee flask as well, so definitely worth keeping the fluids up, especially in this weather. It's too easy to go out and not get talking and walking around and forget that you're actually getting dehydrated. So what was on today? Well, John Lofty Wiseman was doing his talk, and that was brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Loads of enthusiasm and energy, and you know, he's probably forgotten what most people know about that sort of thing. Incredible. The other thing was that he actually was doing a book signing as well, and I've had for ages now a copy of the SAS Survival Guide, and I've never got the chance to get it signed until today. So thank you very much, Lofty, for doing that. Absolutely honoured to meet you. Really friendly chap as well. And just talking to the guy, you know, he's such down to earth like most of these people. You know, it's not, you know, he's forgotten more than what most people know about this sort of thing, in my opinion. So, you know, it's nice to, you know, to pick up on that. And I think when he's doing his presentation, you know, you can relate to that sort of thing better than maybe just looking on the internet, because you get the information but you don't know the reasons for why and why not, which you do when you see somebody actually doing it. The other guy I stopped by to look at was Dave Canterbury. First time I've seen him, and he's a character as well. He was doing a lot of things with navigation, basically taking a bearing from a compass and then marking it out using stakes in the ground. And you know, it's good fun, really good fun, and you come away learning something, and you know, enjoying yourself as well. So that was it. I did a bit of shopping while I was down there, typical me, always spot something that I want. So I found this little, I don't know what it is actually, it was in the army surplus. I think it's possibly Swedish, I might be wrong, I don't know, but it's, if you can see there, we'll bring it a bit closer, it's like really big, thick, tough saddle leather, and it's got the belt loop on the back there. And my idea is I'm just going to pop it on the belt and use, I don't know, maybe for tinder, or it'll actually fit my Altoids tin in there as well, so it could be a nice little thing for the survival tin. It just shuts with that little clip on the bottom there. Other thing I got was a NATO issue roll mat, close foam one, a genuine one, so not one of these sort of flimsy things. This one's probably one of the tie bits. It's in the car, so I won't want to get it out now, and it's truth that will probably stay in there as a redundancy, because if I'm going camping and I've got the self-inflating mat with me, that's all well and good until eventually there would be a problem with that. Touch wood, there won't be, but you never know, do you? So it's nice to have a bit of a backup there. So that was all I bought. I was very good, I didn't buy anything else. So I've come back to get myself a bit of a snack, and I'm probably get a fire going, I reckon. There's loads of wood actually. I'm just going to put the camera around and show you. I don't think I will really have to break into the logs tonight, because just over there there's loads of this sort of deadfall wood that we're actually fine to use, so we're not taking it off the trees or anything like that, but because of where it is, it's warm and it's breezy, it's all dried out, so I just snapped a couple of twigs off there, so that's the sort of the kindling sorted. So we'll get a fire on the go, and I think tonight it's curry night, Saturday night, so I've got one of those curries in a tin with rice. You know me by now, I love those sorts of things, so I'm going to get one of those on the go. I'm going to crack a beer open because it's Saturday night and you've got to have a beer on a Saturday night. And as to what I do later, don't know, maybe stop up here and chill out for a bit, maybe pop down there and watch the entertainment. It's that rock and roll, I think it is, contemporary rock and roll, like I said earlier, so I'll have a look at that and see what that's about. Maybe have a couple more beers, all in the spirit of supporting local business, you understand. So I'll catch you in a bit, guys. Okay, right, so I'm going to seize the opportunity of the sunlight and get some charging done. My phone's gone down to about 40%, so it's in need of a boost. And to do that, I'm using the Goal Zero Nomad 7 solar panel. I do have the Guide 10, which is the little silvery box in there, which I'll come back to in a minute. But because the phone has a recharge circuit in, I've just connected a micro USB cable all the way up there, and my phone is on the roof happily charging away there. Just put it on there so it doesn't get sort of trodden on or anything. There's nowhere else really to put it. I can put it inside the car, but I'll leave it on top of there. I've just attached the Goal Zero with a little bungee cord off the top of my roof rail, coupled to a S carabiner. There it is, absolutely fine. Yeah, the Guide 10, basically a battery charger with an additional torch feature on it, but it can charge 4 rechargeable AA batteries with a little adapter in there, which will mean I could charge 4 AAA batteries. Really handy if you've got other kit that runs on AA or AAA. I know I harp on about it, but the reason I use AA or AAA is because the batteries are readily available, and of course, you know, you can't charge a D-cell or you know, an 18650 in that. I don't think you can anyway. No, of course you can't, because it's a different size, so you can't do that. So that's the reason why I use those. But for anything with a recharge circuit in, perfectly acceptable just to plug it in. As you see there, just behind the mesh pocket there, you've got a few of the cables. There is a mini USB, which is a slightly fatter version of the micro, which is sort of thing that you find commonly on sat-navs, dash cams and that sort of thing, so you can charge all that up. And that little thing at the bottom left of the picture there is an adapter, so you can actually plug in something which would have a cigarette lighter connector, so effectively like a 12 volt connection. Plug onto it. I'm trying to think what else I would have on there. I think I had a dash cam which had one of those on there. Sat-navs, some of the older sat-navs do as well. They just plug in like that, and got the mesh pocket there to keep everything in there out of the way. But you get different sizes of these things. I've seen them with 2 like this one. You can get one that's sort of double. I think this one's 7 watt. I might not be correct on that. I'll just flash it up on the screen now when I've looked it up. But 99% sure it is a 7 watt one. You can obviously get larger ones. The bigger the panel, the more sort of solar rays will be absorbed into the panel. Therefore, the faster it should charge. That's a non-scientific version, but Goal Zero do other things as well. So you can get sort of inverter type things as well. But for my purposes, as a basic off-the-grid power solution, it's absolutely fine. I think the only problems I'd suffer with this is if it was very, very overcast. But to be fair, I've tested it in autumn time where there was just sort of limited sort of sun around the day, and it worked then. So the more sun, the better, I suppose. Anyway, I'm going to crack on, because the next thing I'll be charging it will be the camera, and I'll probably do that off the power bank. Okay, right, so time for cooking some tea or dinner. Curry and rice. We're going to do it on the open fire, and first I'm going to prep some wood. Now, I think it's important to say that I'm not anywhere near as experienced as some people in the realms of bushcraft, fire lighting and all the rest of it, okay? But I think it's important, and I'm trying to learn my skills and learn and improve, because you can't always rely on a gas stove, okay? And so what I want to try and do is do as much of the prep as possible. Now, I'm looking away because I've got a load of wood behind me. I haven't had to really go out and forage for wood. I can help myself to what I need, ranging from little sort of twigs and kindling through to logs, okay? Now, I've already started chopping some of this stuff up, and to be honest with you, again, it comes down to cost. I haven't invested a massive amount of money in this stuff at the start, so at the moment I'm using these articles here as part of my sort of wood prep. Being perfectly honest with you, this is a supermarket branded axe, which is the same one I think you've probably seen on another video. It needed a bit of a sharpen up when I first got it, but it's perfectly serviceable. And I think, you know, this is a good point to say that just from a tool point of view, it doesn't really matter in terms of what brand something is. It's on how you look after it and how you know, you store it and use it. Okay, I think everything's got you know, there's a perfectly decent edge on that, and it's just maintaining it. You know, if I was to say that this cost me £5.99, I think, you know, people might chuckle and think, well, you know, they could spend 10 times that on an axe, and you know, quite rightly so. But this is the one for the chopping. If I was to say a couple of things about it that are negatives, it's the fact that, as you can see there, possibly, even though the light's very, very bright at the moment, it's basically a fiberglass handle, so you will get a certain amount of bounce rather than a sort of a dead hit. Okay. Similar is the saw. Now, there's loads of folding saws, and without doing a bit of product placement on things I haven't got, I won't mention the obvious, but everybody knows there's two really popular saws that people seem to be buying. I didn't. I bought this one. It's branded Worth. It came from, I think if I remember rightly, it came from a chain store called Home and Bargains. I paid $3.99, I think it was, but the teeth on it are nice and sharp. And it's actually made out of what's called SK4 steel, if I remember rightly. It's Japanese steel, so you know, it even locks halfway down to stop you from caught a catch in your hands. So, you know, it's perfectly serviceable. We'll see how it performs. The nice thing about this is it cuts on the backstroke as well, which is makes things a lot easier to cut. Happy days. Not the biggest log in the world, so but it gives you the general idea. If you can cut something like that with a saw, that's perfectly decent enough to make up some wood for your fire. Let's try the axe. Okay, let's give the axe a whirl. And what I'm really hoping doesn't happen here is that a piece of this spears off and whacks the camera and lights the camera off, or the car that's parked next to it. So, well, it hit the tripod, but it didn't hit the camera, so happy days. And the trick is now just to start building on that fire. A few logs. First priority is, got the old kettle on the go, and this is what we're having for tea tonight. Chicken curry, you can see there, British chicken as well. So we've got chicken curry and rice. So that's my meal for tonight. I'm not messing around cooking it in two separate tins. I'm just going to cook the curry first and then pop the rice in afterwards and crack on. So, same as before, Dutch mess tins, get it on the go. I use a spare tin to just keep the cutlery in and everything, because you want to try and keep some sort of hygiene, but I don't have any spork or anything with me. I've just got two spoons, one to cook with and one to eat. Dead easy to tell which one's which, because one's bigger than the other. So a big one to eat and a small one to cook with. Big spoon for a big gob, eh? So, something like that maybe. So that's building up nicely. Easy to open tin, straight in with it. No messing around. Put that down for a second. I will pick it up. No way. I don't believe in littering. And I'm just going to put a little bit of water in there as well. Waste not, want not. So that just goes into the bin afterwards. I'm just going to put it down there and I'll go up and put it up in the bin in a moment. So all I'm going to do is just cut that through. Doesn't take long, a couple of minutes on the hob, and it's a nice chicken curry for a Saturday night. And the kettle boiling away, it's starting to catch now. So you got all the time in the world, so we're going to let that happily cook away. Now that's bubbling away nicely. Just going to add the rice now. The rice itself, tip in and heat through. Pretty straightforward. I can join the rubbish pile down here to be disposed of. And what better to have with it than a nice Spitfire. Fantastic stuff. Got to have a bit of the curry in my opinion. So I'm going to carry on cooking this off and then just basically cook it out. A little bit of seasoning at the end. Guess what? Black pepper grinder again. Got to have black pepper. While it's all cooking, I think it's time for a brew. So water is boiled. Trusty old Crusader. So you know why I keep another spoon. The one that you're eating with. A couple of spoonfuls of coffee in that. Make sure that's sealed up. Out of the way. Yeah, just shift that to the side. Just pop that down. Oh yeah. Brilliant. Now again, I always just keep the water on the boil just to provide a little bit of washing up water for afterwards, just to make things a bit easier rather than now having to reboil water. So that's all sorted. I believe that is now almost cooked. So I'll give you one quick look at it and then I'm going to eat this, kick back with that beer, and if I don't see you later, I'll see you in the morning. Curry and rice is served. Good morning everybody, it's Sunday the 27th and here at the Bushcraft Show. It's about 11 o'clock, I'm just walking down to the main area. I haven't done any filming this morning because in all fairness wasn't a lot to talk about. Did myself some breakfast, a couple of egg baps which you'll see in a minute, but a bit of a tidy up around as well and a walk down. We had some storms last night and yeah, it's a little bit on the wet side, you can see from the puddles, and of course now the temperature's getting a little bit more. Flies are starting to come, so important to wearing some good insect repellent, so I'll catch you soon. And just coming down here, there is a car park. I think this is mainly possibly for the huts at the top there. I suppose there's no reason why you couldn't park on there and cart all the kit all the way back up there, but what's the point, you know, the car will go up there, so at least it's in some ways not like it was a few years ago where they had all that rain, and I think my car possibly would be one of the ones that gets stuck. As tea time tonight, so tonight it's beans and sausages and just brewing up a nice cup of there, so we'll get that on the go. Doing a couple of rolls of thunder this evening as well, so I'm going to make up a bit extra, keep it in the flask because I don't know in fairness whether or not I'll be venturing out tonight, but then stick a waterproof on, so that's the aim of the game for this evening. I don't normally eat all this sort of stuff, you know, but it's just easier sometimes, especially when the car's right there, just to have a load of tins in there and then I can just cut things up as I actually need them. So a little bit of seasoning as always, because you know me, I love the black pepper. And that's going to be served with some bread rolls. Got a couple left, bought 6 with me. Had 2 this morning for breakfast, 2 last night for tea with the curry, and 2 with this. So I'm going to get all this done before the rain starts, because I think we're due for a little bit of thunder tonight, you know, never mind a bit of rain, and then we'll crack a beer and chill out for the evening. So just while this is cooking, just tell you a little bit about today. I went and saw a guy called Will Lord. He was doing a presentation about axes and medieval tools, and really good. You know, there's so much to learn sometimes when people are doing this sort of thing all the time. And the other guy was the one and only Mr. Paul Kirtley, and it's the first time I've seen him. He was talking about his expeditions, and again it's just some information that you can take away with you. So you know, I won't use all the stuff that he was talking about, I'm sure, but you know, I don't see myself going off to Canada and doing a load of camping over there or in Norway. But you know, so many things can sort of be transcribed into what we do in this country. So went down to the Beaver Bushcraft store when he was doing some knife sharpening, a demonstration where you could pay, I think it was £4, and have a knife sharpened, and if it wasn't sharp you didn't have to pay for it. But the truth was, these knives that he took, some of them were blunt as, and you know, he got them razor sharps to the point where they were actually sort of shaving sharp. I might take one of my old ones down there and see whether or not he can do his work, his magic. But I bought myself their honing and sharpening kit, which I'll show you in a minute, and I just thought it was worth getting something to look after the knives. I spent a lot of money on buying stuff, and it's as well just to look after it. So I'm going to rustle this up and we'll be back soon. Right, beans and sausages served. Well, we've taken refuge with a green gecko, and where am I? He is just under the estate boot of this car. Provides a good shelter actually. Yeah, I've had to shoot off and cut short on the last little bit because yeah, the rain started coming down, and I thought, well, I want to get sort of obviously the camera equipment away and other stuff in the dry and out of the way, which again, you know, it's just like I said a few minutes ago, the thing I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to remember to do, is to continually tidy as I go. And the aim is not to have stuff scattered around all over the place, because if I do have to dash anywhere, and I've got to start scampering around trying to find stuff because I've left this out or that out or the other out, it's no good. So I would say it's lessening off a bit now. While I'm undercover, so to speak, I'll show you this, what I bought from Beaver Bushcraft today. It's a diamond sharpening kit. It's got the honing strop, it's got the honing compound. It's a good bit of kit, and I've seen the guy use it. He did a demonstration, and I thought to myself, well, it's the ideal thing. I said it again yesterday, seeing demonstrations of people using this sort of thing is much better than, you know, obviously just reading an instruction manual. So I'm going to do a couple of tests on one of my other knives before I start and let myself loose with the Bushcraft knives, just in case I mess it up. But you know, another little thing purchased that hopefully will go to protect some of the kit. It's all very well buying the kit, but I need to look after it as well. So there we go. We've had a few bit of thunder and lightning, which you can probably hear in the background. But fortunately, you know, there we go, there's a bit of lightning. So we've got a nice bit of a storm coming. Oh! It is a little bit wet. As you can see here, everybody that was in front of their tents is now not. Okay, so that's it, all packed up. Quick 360, make sure that nothing has been forgotten, because last thing you want to do is mispack something and then that's it, game over. So I will see you shortly. Bless you, take care folks, bye for now.